Yeah, baby.
What did you say to your old teammates at the end there when you were standing in front of the bench?
Take their ass home. Long flight to LA. Take y'all ass home. You know, it's deeper that for me. You understand? I gave my blood and sweat and tears to that organization. I mean, you guys know the story. Blood, sweat, and tears to just be written off like that. You know, he's injury prone. He's old. This, that. To be able to come here, play them in a play-in, beat their ass. No other feeling, man. No other feeling.
You know what, though? I'm not even mad about that. Isn't that what sports is supposed to be about? Sort of the excitement, the rawness, the emotion, right? So here with Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins, and Vince Carter. And I just want to start here. A few of you guys, you know a little something about winning. You know a lot of something about celebrating after the winning. And Richard, since you're already usually one button away from a Patrick Beverley type celebration, I'm just going to start with you here. How do you assess what you saw from him?
Why is everyone laughing already? I want to tell you how I assess it. Look, just roll the tape. Roll the tape. That's all we want to see. I'm going to go with the T-Wolves. I'm going to go with the T-Wolves in a close one because it's at home. It's at home. Like, they've been playing outstanding basketball. So yes, while we know the Clippers
but you
and
said
we
you
know
picked them
Paul George,
right.
after Paul George, the next three best players on this in these games
we
are
have
going
no lighting.
to be D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and then Towns. So, like, that's why I give them the edge. And one of the reasons why I believe that is, look, Big Cat was in foul trouble. We're going to talk more about Big Cat. But when your best player, your all-star is in foul trouble, you need other people to step up. And I said it. They had the guys to step up. So they had Anthony Edwards. They had D'Angelo Russell. They were able to offset what's his name? Paul George. Playoff P, what he was able to do. He did have a good game, so I want to keep it positive for my guy. But ultimately, when you look at that team and the balance that the Minnesota Timberwolves bring, they're going to be an issue for their next opponent, the Memphis Grizzlies.
You sure?
Is it the Memphis Grizzlies who are they playing?
Yeah. It's the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes. And since we already allowed you, Richard, to roll back your tape from yesterday, we're going to do something else that's frightening. Let's bring back Kendrick Perkins' tweets. You tweeted, Perk.
Here we go.
Good morning to Patrick Beverley. We're not going to,
the music?
Patrick Beverley and Patrick Beverley only.
That's beautiful music.
Your thoughts, Kendrick?
You know what? We doing a lot of he-heing and ha-ha, but I meant what I said. Good morning to Patrick Beverley and Patrick Beverley only. You know why? Because Patrick Beverley has done something that a lot of teams and a lot of fans need to take notice. Patrick Beverley is the true definition of culture. Patrick Beverley went out on a limb and said, you know what? We're going to make the playoffs this season. And you know what Patrick Beverley showed the rest of the world? That vets matter. Especially the vets that you bring in with a young team and a young fella like Anthony Edwards to come in and get that and bring that tenacity out and call Anthony Towns and everybody else in the right way. And so when I look at Patrick Beverley and the way that he was celebrating, guess what? I have zero problems with it. You know why? Because it may not have meant nothing to a lot of people out there in the world, but it meant something to him. It meant something to him because he stood firm on his word and he delivered in great fashion for us them making the playoffs. And guess what? Every single time he probably walked into that locker room, guess what he was probably telling those young guys? Stay the course, stay focused. We're gonna make the playoffs. We don't know what Patrick Beverley was preaching, but we do know that Patrick Beverley was the damn leader in that locker room. So I'm standing with Pat Bev on this.
I gotta say, I was hyped.
Right too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was hyped watching this game. We're going to get back to Patrick Beverley a little bit later in the show because he's actually going to be joining us live. But the other side of this, right, is the Wolves. They pulled this win out despite a really shaky performance from their all-star Karl Anthony Towns. He fouled out with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Remember, in the first quarter, nothing. Second quarter, he had 2 free throws. The third quarter is when he got his first bucket, 3 of 11 from the field, 11 points, Vince. So what was your takeaway from his performance?
I thought I thought Cat walked into a playoff-style basketball game with regular season mentality. And with that being said, you know, he's running into people, drawing fouls, and not getting those calls. And he got a little frustrated, kind of got out of the sorts a little bit. And once he got in foul trouble, you know, like RJ, you lose your rhythm. Yeah. And he lost his rhythm, and he kind of lost his way a little bit. And then he's trying not to foul and being in position. And the Clippers did what they're supposed to do. When you're in a situation where it could go either way, you fall down. You see right there, you fall down and you make the referee make the call.
And look, T. Lue is one of the masters at this. He's one of the masters at taking away things, making certain players uncomfortable. So I want to give a ton of credit to T. Lue and his game plan for taking out the All-Star. The only problem is that All-Star had a lot of help.
I thought that Chuck made a good point on Inside last night when he said that, yes, he saw that Chris Finch, I know Anthony Edwards gave him a lot of credit for his coaching last night, but at a certain point, Vince, you and I were talking about this before the show, at what point do you need to be able to look, see the way that the first 3-4 fouls are racked up? And I know oftentimes guys say, well, we have to trust our stars. We have to trust our guys. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to be able to say, this is the moment that I'm going to say, you know what, right now I'm going to save you just a little longer just because I saw the way these other fouls played out. But Perk, I know you wanted to give Towns the business. This is a direct quote from you. You want to give Towns the business. So I'm just going to give you the floor.
Here we go.
Yeah, and here's why. Yep, here we go. Let me tell you why. For the simple fact that I'm all in for current players partying and being on podcasts, but Karl Anthony Towns has been talking a lot of noise about other players. Karl Anthony Towns had some comments about Russell Westbrook padding his stats. Karl Anthony Towns said, boy, where we from New Jersey, we get held accountable on how we perform and how we bring on championships. Well, guess what, Karl Anthony Towns? You did none of that. And I'm not even talking about the numbers as far as putting up points, but it's other ways to affect the game.
Sure.
And what I'm thinking of is we're not talking, if this was Anthony Edwards, you know what, we would say this is a learning experience. We're talking to Karl Anthony Towns, who's a veteran, all-star, has been in the playoffs one time. So he knows how to approach this. And my whole thing is, when is he going to learn that it's other ways to affect the game, not only just by scoring? I can't give him an excuse about the foul trouble. Some of those fouls were dumb fouls. If you know that you're in foul trouble, why would you go for that last foul and go over a guy back?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.